And the reason that Emerson Mnangagwa wants to exhume the mortal remains of President Mugabe is because he has been looking for what is referred to as Chimboya Mambo, which is really the scepter that he believes it will give him the authority to be the leader of Zimbabwe.
Masquera say Zimbabwe, welcome to our channel Zim Confessions and Deep Secrets. Kana kariki kutanka kukia panino channel, please don't forget to subscribe. Chingwa karoka subscriber, don't forget to comment and share this video. Masquera Zimbabwe takigira nyaka buritswa na nephew wa the late president wa Robert Mugabe abo vakashaika vakavigwa ku homestead yavo kwa Zvimba. So the nephew wa Mugabe uyo anonzi Patrick Juwao akabuda achitaura the reason why Emerson Mnangagwa arikuda kuti body ya Mugabe wangoichi exhumed kufunga nyaya iyoyo yani nguva ichinetsa kubva pakafa President Robert Mugabe. Pane nyaya dzakanetsa machiefs achitaura iwo achiti body ya Mugabe irifanira kubviswa payakavigirwa wenda unovigwa kuiros eka mune Zimbabwe. Ngatakaona zvakare vana va Robert Mugabe anabhona vachifambira nyaya dzacho idzo dzavari kunzi vakawina. Ndafunga pane investigations aida kuitwa mune Zimbabwe, visits aida kuitwa pagrave raMugabe mune Zimbabwe. So the nephew wa Mugabe Patrick Juwao akabuda achitaura iye achiti President Emerson Mnangagwa is the one ari behind nyaya dzese idzodzo, hanzi the one ari kupusha for exhumation ya Robert Mugabe, hanzi he believes kuti vaMugabe vakavigwa ne a mystic scepter iyo inonzi tsvimbo yamambo mune Zimbabwe, hanzi ndo yaari kuda, hanzi ari kubhiliva kuti inovapa authority yekukomanda as a leader mune Zimbabwe. Nyaya yakabuditswa netizin live vachitaura vachiti President Emerson Mnangagwa is behind a bizarre push to exhume the remains of Robert Mugabe in the vain belief that his predecessor was buried with Tsvimbo Yamambo. That would give him commanding authority as a leader. Mugabe's exiled nephew Patrick Juwao is sensationally claimed. A village chief sent tanks wagging across Zimbabwe and beyond after summoning Mugabe's widow, Grace, to a village court on accusations of violating tradition by burying the late former president inside his rural homestead and ordering his exhumation for reburial at a family gravesite. Chief Zimba ordered the former first lady, who is unwell and seeking medical treatment outside the country, to appear in a traditional court. You are facing charges of burying the late Robert Gabriel Mugabe at his homestead. This is unheard of in Chief Zimba's area. At the same time, you are accused of abandoning Robert Mugabe's property, which is scattered nationwide, the chief said in his summons. I want you to rebury the late president in accordance with our traditions and in Zimba at a place designated by the family and the late mother. These charges you are facing attracts a fine of 5 cattle and a goat. The summons, allegedly served by an officer from Mnangagwa's office, riled Mugabe's family, with Joao charging that this is happening because of a political agenda that Emerson Mnangagwa wants to put forward. He knows very well that Amai is not well. She is out of the country. He knows that she is receiving treatment. He knows very well that she is not able to attend, and yet he sent one of his officers to be at the head of the delegation that went to deliver the summons to someone that they know very well will not be available. Joao told the SABC from South Africa, where he sought refuge following the 2017 military coup that toppled Mugabe. He alleged that the reason Emerson Mnangagwa wants to exhume the mortal remains of President Mugabe is because he has been looking for what is referred to as Tsvimbo Yamambo, which is really the scepter that he believes will give him the authority to be the leader of Zimbabwe. Joao continued, Emerson Mnangagwa, in my presence and the presence of my 2 colleagues, has indicated that he believes that the are 16 traditional leaders who will effectively anoint the person that will be able to effectively govern Zimbabwe, and he believes that President Mugabe, he had that chimbo yeumambo. He said the late president's nephew accused Mnangagwa of being as being someone who believes in supernatural and the power of magic, aiding his going after Mugabe's non-existent scepter because he is very uncomfortable about the elections, and he believes that he will need to secure those elections through violence. But the violence, João reasoned, will have to be perpetrated by individuals, and he would like to be able to say to those individuals that they are protected spiritually. And this is the perspective that he has. This is why he's pushing this. Asked about the SABC anchor if he had only evidence, João affirmed, I have the evidence of him having spoken to me and to a couple of my colleagues, and one of my colleagues is willing to turn around and say, look, this is what he believes. He believes that Zimbabwe, the government of Zimbabwe, is determined by 16 traditional leaders, and he believes that it is those traditional leaders who handed a scepter to President Mugabe. But President Mugabe indicated to him that no such thing ever happened. João also ribbed Chief Zimba by saying he had no jurisdiction as a traditional leader to question Mugabe's burial place because issues of deaths and burial are governed by appropriate legal act which has precedence over traditional law. We are not going to dignify such an insult by even attending. We do not know that Chief Zimba was promised. We do know that Chief Zimba was promised cars during funeral of President Mugabe, and he was very, very vocal about wanting to disregard President Mugabe's wishes on where he would finally be interred. Mnangagwa spokesperson George Charamba was not available for comment. Mugabe, who succumbed to cancer in 2019, just less than 2 years after his forced removal by Mnangagwa, was buried in a tamper-proof casket, with his family saying they were fearing his body parts would be dug up and used for ritual purposes. He was buried after 22 days of acrimonious haggling between his family and government, which wanted him laid to rest at the Heroes Acre, but his family dug in, saying his wishes were that he be not interred anywhere near the national shrine. He wanted a tamper-proof casket because of the fear of rituals. People were after his body and his body parts. Mugabe's nephew, Leo, was quoted as saying at the time, amabudikira wakati wa nyaya iyi muri Zimbabwe tisingaziye kuti munoiona sei nyaya yetu idzi zvamukufunga comment section.
As a family, we took a position, and that position was informed by President Mugabe's wishes to be buried in his rural home, and that is what we did. Not only did we do that with the full assistance of the Roman Catholic Church, Father Muguti was on hand. He traveled all the way to Singapore to come back with President Mugabe's mortal remains. But we also had the assistance of the government of Zimbabwe. The resident minister for Mashonaland West was there at the burial. And the Presidential Guard was there with the Chaplain General of the Zimbabwe Defense Forces, General Nakujga there. So this is a process that was done above board. This was a process that was done with a burial order that was duly issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs. Now, there is no dispute within the family around where President Mugabe's mortal remains were interred. And if there is no dispute, then where does the chief come in? Over and above the chief not having any reasons or grounds for intervening, this is beyond his jurisdiction as a traditional leader, because issues of births, deaths, and burials are governed by the appropriate legal act, which has precedence over traditional law. Now, this begs the question as to why this is happening. This is happening because of a political agenda that Emerson Mnangagwa wants to be able to put forward. He knows very well that Amai Mugabe is not well. She's out of the country. He knows that she is receiving treatment. He knows very well that she will not be able to attend, and yet he sent one of his officers to be the head of the delegation that went to deliver a summons to a person that they know very, very well will not be available. And the reason that Emerson Mnangagwa wants to exhume the mortal remains of President Mugabe is because he has been looking for what is referred to as Chimboya Mambo, which is really the scepter that he believes it will give him the authority to be the leader of Zimbabwe. Emerson Mnangagwa, in my presence, in the presence of two of my colleagues, has indicated that he believes that there are 16 traditional leaders who will effectively anoint the person that will be able to effectively govern and rule Zimbabwe. And he believes, and he believes that President Mugabe at that Chimboye Umambo